Today's how-to video is how to waterproof your shower. We are using the Schluter Kerdi system and the Kerdi membrane and the prefab shower pan linear drain. So before we get started, we do have a video on our channel for how to put on this membrane. And in that particular case, it was a tub surround, and we showed you how to do it one piece. So in this video, I thought I'd show you the other technique using the Kerdi tape. This is called the Kerdi band. And the basic principle of this membrane is really simple. This material, when it overlaps with itself, creates a bond that water can't force its way through, okay? This material has a property that repels water. So when you cement them together, it makes it impossible for water to work its way through there unless it's something ridiculous like over 50 feet below the sea level. And we're never gonna have that kind of pressure on water in a shower. So that's where the waterproofing system comes from. So basically what we've designed, or Schluter designed, is a system where if you apply all of these products and have an overlap, then that force that repels water, as long as you have a 2-inch overlap, it's guaranteed for life. Now they're giving a 10-year performance warranty on their product, which is why I use this now exclusively. I like being able to give my clients that kind of peace of mind. So when we're applying this, you don't have to think of it like a roofing system. You don't have to go to the bottom first and then overlap the top and then do all the details. You can do it in any order that suits you. So you can do the walls, you can start at the top, you can do the nook, you can do the extras, you can do all your corners first, if that's what you prefer. It doesn't really matter. As long as you have a good overlay, it's going to be waterproof. So to waterproof the whole shower is probably going to take me about an hour and a half. So instead of making you endure a 90-minute video, watching me fuss around with all the cement, I'm going to show you all of the elements and then teach you some couple of simple tricks. And then you can watch the other video. Between the two of them, you'll have plenty of information there to do the job yourself if you so choose. Now this tape is really simple. It comes as a flat piece. It doesn't have a pre-designed crease in it. So what I do is I fold it up nice, run it over a pail. Now I got a crease. Okay, nice and simple. It applies very similar to drywall mud, drywall taping system. So right over our substrate, we're gonna get our cement here. We're gonna just fill up our gap. Now this cement is a non-modified cement. Very important, use the right product when applying all of these membrane products. A latex modified cement does not bond to these products and it will fail, and you will not get a warranty. Another good reason why, if you're gonna have somebody in your home doing this system, make sure that they can prove to you that they've taken the Schluter course and that they're certified to install this product. My experience is most guys in this industry think that if they've watched the DVD that comes in the box, then they're certified. And that is just not the case. There's a lot of information that they hand out in a 2-day seminar, a lot of practical, hands-on type stuff. And if they haven't been there to take that course, then they're not committed to the product, and they're not committed to making sure that you're getting it done right either. There we go, nice and simple. So now, to finish this wall, all we need to use is just a big roll of this stuff. Roll it out in the cement. Again, you've got to use the right tool for the job. So when you work with the Schluter products, use the Schluter tools. It's not the end of the world to buy a couple more tools. Schluter Kerdi, this is for the membrane. It has its own notch. It's designed for its product and its cement. And so you use this to apply it. It sets the right thickness on the wall. In the same regard, if you're doing the flooring system, they have a Dietra trowel. Again, it's their own notch. These are not available on the market outside of the Schluter name. Nobody makes tile trowels with these kind of gaps in it. So don't try to improvise. Demonstrate now how to do the inside and outside corners. And these are awesome. You can't just take this product and cut it with a knife and make a corner. This is sealed. There's no joint. It's manufactured this way so that you have the perfect lap on an inside-outside corner. So what we're going to do is just demonstrate where and how to use it, how to apply it. Now you can see this outside corner. Because it's a shower nook, it's too big. But because what we need for this product is a 2-inch overlay, I don't need it sticking all the way out into the wall. So I can feel free to cut it back, maintaining my 2-inch overlay. And as long as it sits in that corner nice like that, I'll be fine. So that's ready to go. Here's an outside corner. I'm gonna bring it, same principle. It's too big for the situation. So I'm gonna cut it back a little bit. Now, I'm good to go. So same principle with working with the cement. Speaking of cement, Schluter does make a cement. I think they put their name on a product. And it's available at some manufacturing, distributing places, wholesalers. I still like to use the Mapai Carabond. Comes gray and white. And I'm going to give a shout out to them. Silky smooth, always applies nice. Never have a problem with it. So we're putting on our corner now. Get the joint right in tight to the wall. And at this point, it's nice to have a second tool. So what you do is you can hold the crease there and use your second tool to smooth it out. It doesn't take a lot of cement to make a good bond. Okay. There we go. Now the same thing there. Hold the other side. And this can be worked and manipulated a little bit to make sure you get a nice edge. If you put too much cement in the corner, it makes it very difficult to tile. So try to keep it thin. So now we're just going to add a little bit more cement over top of that new corner and do the inside corner. Same principle, put the knife in the joint, run that out. The whole while trying to keep everything as clean as possible. And when you're done with your overlap, clean off all the excess cement. Now I realize in a lot of situations, you know, we go a little overboard. We waterproof up above our heads. It's extreme. This is not going to be a closed-in shower with steam, so what's the point? Well, here's the thing. You have an overhead rain shower, it doesn't make a lot of mess. You don't get water everywhere. But when you're done, you take off the wand, and what do? Yeah, that's right. You're firing water everywhere. You're washing down your walls. You're filling up the cavity in the shelf with water. That's probably going to get more water when you're cleaning than when you're actually having a shower. So that's why we take the time, make sure our ledges are sloped, everything's waterproof and sealed up, and that is the key. In the Schluter system, whenever you buy a floor shower pan package, you get inside outside corners for the shower pan. You also get these little gizmos. These are awesome. If you can use them, they're great little additions to your toolbox. The idea here is a lot of shower valves they come with a round housing, just a simple cylinder, a couple mounting screws, and then a round plate or a square plate, and they've got a gasket. You don't really need a waterproofing gasket, but if it fits, and you can make sure that you have a nice joint, and a little something to divert the water so it can drain back out of underneath. If it gets there, then why the heck not? So the same thing applies here. They have these little things. These are awesome. Now, in most showers, you don't need to put a gasket around a shower head. Water's never going to get up there. But nowadays, there's a lot of people using this system where you'll have an elbow here going to a water line on a hose attached to an adjustable slide bar. Now you're dealing with a hole in the wall that's lower, that's going to see some water. So it's best to waterproof this area right here. And this gasket, if you can see on the camera, it has a really thick edge here. It also has a thin extrusion here. That extrusion is going to be in my way. There we go. So now, same rule applies. Take our cement. Whoa! And you'll notice it is a little bit sloppy. I do that on purpose because you don't want this product drying too fast. There we go. So now that the back is cut off, it's nice and flush on the front. We can just apply this nice and simple. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put down our curb. Now, my curb is a bit of a cheat. When I bought the shower pans, they were extremely large. Each of them were 5 feet by 5 feet, so I had a lot of excess material. So what I did is I took a couple inches off the highest part of each of those, and I'm going to use that as my curb. I'm going for a really low profile look here because I wanted to get the biggest shower I could in this room. So I'm designing my own curb. I'm going to tile both sides. I'm going to use a little marble seal on the top. That'll play off the accent tile in the shower. Let's take our sloppy cement and we set it in the ground. It's important that when you're doing something like this, pre-cut and measure, have it all ready to go. Know that you're going to be happy with the final result. You don't want to start messing around with this stuff and then having to cut it down afterwards. Now when I'm doing my last pass here, I'm using the side that's notched, setting it. That way I'm leaving a certain amount of cement up against the original pan. So when I'm setting in my curb, I don't have to be back buttering anything. I just set it right in that. Done. I'll put a little bit on the end so I can bond those joints together. Now here, it's just a design situation. So I have my shower drain, my linear drain, it's extending a little bit past my floor pan. So I've just notched my curb. When I open this up, you'll see that my finished floor, while we're talking about it, let's show that. Here's my drain. Now right now there's a plastic guard on top of this, but this will be covered in tile. I'll have tile come up to each side and leave a grout line. So I've actually designed this curb so that when my tile comes down this side of the curb, it finishes right next to the grout line. This is as low profile as I can make it, trying to save as much room as I can for the toilet area. So this is just part of the flexibility that comes with the system. Once I have that curb in, I can then take my smaller knife and I can just mud all over. That's the best thing about this system. When in doubt, just cover it in mud and work out the rest in the wash later. Now I'm not worried about how pretty this looks. I'm waterproofing this. When I go put my sill on, I'm going to be adding a pretty good piece of cement just so that I make sure I get good adhesion and I have the ability to level and slope it. So if this is a little wrinkly, it's not going to affect the performance. Here we go. So this tray has a integrated waterproofing flange that's part of the drain system. And so when you're doing your waterproofing, it's necessary to make sure that this is all pressed down into place. It's hard to do one part without the other. Again, hold the edge against a wall. A little bit of a system like wallpaper here. We want to just kind of move all the excess cement and air out of the way. Now you can see the curb has the pan has a ridge here. That's designed for the application of the cement so that when you're all finished, it's kind of like drywall tape in here. You can fill that up, and then your tile has a nice flat surface to rest on. It's a good idea, but they've been using that in drywall for the last 60, 70 years. Get this part down here. Okay, so there are a lot of different products on the market. I know down in the States, they have a lot of competition down there. Up here in Canada, we have a few products that are trying to mimic some of the aspects of the system. Traditionally, waterproofing was a roll-on membrane, and that worked great didn't have as much flexibility. So the reason I use the Schluter system is because of the testing that they've done. There's a lot of newer products on the market and they don't combine well with other products and other technology. So we went through years of trial and error, trying different products, so the fiberglass walls, cement boards, different membrane systems, different roll-ons. And unfortunately, you always had to mix and match different technologies to get the look and the performance that you wanted, but it didn't always work out very well. And so after a lot of trial and error, we've settled in and using this product because of the one fact. They give a 10-year warranty if you install it properly, and you don't ever have to think twice about it. So that peace of mind, not just for my client, but for me, it's worth its weight in gold. Remember, if you want to learn more, just subscribe to our channel, Ottawa Design and Build here on YouTube.